Okay, so first thing, pull the hinges off, pull the hood stop off, the wires, just a pin there, holding the wire. So once the hood's off, work on taking the radiator out. Radiator, exhaust pipe, intake. Drive shaft, PTO. Pull the PTO drive shaft off there. That's cool. Rear drive shaft's right here. I thought it was going to be difficult. Just unbolt it there. And where is the rear support for the transmission? What? Is there nothing supporting that transmission at the back? What's going on here? Could it be the engine supported in the front and in the back? Is that what's going on? Okay, so front support on the engine, and then rear support on the engine. Well, that makes it kind of difficult because you're gonna need an engine mount right here on the cross member on the F350. So I'll have to. Is there a place for an engine mount there? No, there isn't. There's just an engine mount at the front, engine mount at the back. I might have to rig something up. Just 4 engine mounts, or 4 places the block is bolted in. So there's a radiator. A little bit of crustiness there, but that's not the radiator. That's just part of the mount for the intercooler. This is the intercooler, and this is the radiator here. So intercooler. From turbo into the intercooler, into the intake. And this side is the radiator. So radiator. You think with such a big truck it'd have a bigger radiator. But I guess it's deep, it's probably thick. Yeah, it's very thick. So, bolts here. Bolts at the bottom. It does. Underneath, yes, one big bolt in the bottom. Wow, look at that. This truck has a lot of good stuff on it. Inline block heater, or inline radiator coolant heater, or coolant heater. It's got a big heating element in there. That doesn't look too old either. Probably still works great. So that's great, because this truck doesn't have glow plugs in it. It's all just high compression. So in the winter time I'm going to plug it in. Yeah, so one on the bottom, supports on the side, supports on the top, and then take the lines off and just lift it right out all in one piece. Here's the power steering reservoir. Got to unbolt that. Okay, I got the rad coolant drained. I got the reservoir bottle off. There it is there. And I started taking the nuts off of these support bars. But I think it's not going back in, so I think the quickest way is I just cut them and then undo the one support at the very bottom and then just lift it right out. Okay, I got everything disconnected. I got the mount off on the bottom there. Looks like I don't have to take the fan off. I do have to take the intercooler boot off. I got the top one off already. Just had a hose clamp on it. Yes, hose clamps on the lower one here too. He has a spring clamp, like a spring hose clamp, the proper clamp on it on the lower end there, but off where it goes into the intake here, it just has regular stainless steel hose clamps. I don't know. I mean, it probably hold, but you never know. You might be hearing some squealing or some farting. There we go. Yeah, well, that could have helped it from leaking a bit, even with the hose clamps, but I'm sure it was leaking a little. Okay, nice silicone hoses, and I cut it. Yeah, I'll cut the other one too. I'll just leave it with the machine. It's got a big kink in it anyway. I don't think it was working too well. The silicone stuff is pretty good, but I don't know how long it lasts till it deteriorates. And the exhaust has a nice big U in it, or big S in it. It might hang down a little bit too low for the truck. I don't know, we'll see. It's got a connection right there. I might just take the connection apart and leave the... Nah, I should really take it off there. Yeah, so next step, air box, and then I think it's gonna be too dark, and then I'm gonna go in and have supper and maybe set up some lights and come back at her. And I don't think I'm gonna try to yank it out till tomorrow. Yanking out something heavy at night by yourself, not a good idea, so it's always best to do it in the daylight. Okay, I got the 4 motor mounts unbolted. Just one there, one at the back, one at the other back. They just look like that. They bolt down from the top and has the big washer on the bottom. That's so you can set the whole engine and tranny right in there. So you just pick it up, pull it out, or put the new one back in, drop it down. The pins on the motor mount center it, and you bolt it in place. So when I go to throw it in the other truck, I'll have to use the same mounts unless I rig up something. I don't know, maybe weld some plates together and bolt it on. And I don't know, I think I'll use, for the front, I'll use the same cross member. And at the back, if you can see where it has hangers that come out off the side of the block there, and then they go into the motor mount on the bottom. Same as the front, just comes out off the frame. So the motor mount bolts to the frame, and then I guess the side of the bell housing has the motor mount, and then it just sits in the mount off the frame there. So I'll probably unbolt these and try to rig up something on the frame on the other truck, and I'll use the same cross member at the front here. I don't know, we'll see once I get the engine out what'll work and what won't. So it turns out this is not a 466. I pulled the intake off, or the intake tube off, and then I looked here and it says DTA360. So this is 360. So this is not a 466, this is a DT360, which is good. It almost the same amount of power, 2 inches lower, about 200 pounds lighter. So excellent. Yeah, I just gotta finish unhooking the wiring and fuel line, and then I can come out. I'm gonna pull the fuel filter off, just because that's probably the first thing to get caught on something and break off, is that fuel filter. So I'll pull that off. I pulled the shifter out of the transmission. just 4 bolts, and I made a cardboard cover for there just for that reason, so the bits don't fall in there. And I pulled the firewall off the back of the truck here. I noticed they had bolts in there, so I just pulled it off. Yeah, so just a little bit of wires to unhook, fuel line going through there. Had a oil leak at the back of the engine here. I think it's leaking from the valve cover, and there's also something leaking on that side there. I don't know, it could be the blow-by coming off the engine, because there's the crankcase vent right there, but I don't know, it's an awful lot of oil, so something's probably leaking there. I'll have to check it out. And other than that, it's going pretty good. I had some work lined up today that I passed on just so I could get this engine out. It's a little bit more important than I have a truck right now. Oh, okay, I think I got it all disconnected. Let's see if I can lift it out. Off the motor mounts at the front. It's just the back. It's going to come up a little bit higher. Problem is I'm hitting the firewall already. I think what I'll have to do is jack up the back of the transmission and then just pull it ahead till it gets past. Okay, I got it jacked up high enough that the mount can slide over the engine mount, or the one side of the mount can slide up over the cradle for the engine mount. And I took my the top of the jack off, so hopefully that can slide along the bottom of the transmission, at least a little bit anyway, just to get it over that engine mount. It's probably just gonna flip the jack over, but we'll see. Okay. Except forgot to remove the fuel filter. Okay, so it's past the mounts. Whether or not the back of the transmission is just gonna, or whether or not the transmission is gonna tilt it back that way, I don't know. It's a pretty long transmission. So everything's free and clear. I gotta set it back down. I'm gonna stick some blocking across, just because my machine is coming off the ground. I gotta go throw the weight on the back. Gotta unhook. I'll go get the weight on it and I'll try again. it was getting stuck on the brake for the emergency brake. So it was getting stuck on here, and then it was getting stuck on the drum for the brake on the motor mount. So the motor mount was sticking out, so I had to pry it out past and shove something in there to wedge in between, so when it slides out it would slide by instead of grabbing on it. Okay, so I got the light on it. I'm gonna go park it in the garage. You see how it's angling down? If you're lifting something heavy, try to angle your forks the same angle where it's hanging, because if not, you may break something at the top there. My chain is, I got it chained around so the chain isn't going to slide off, but so if I put my fork straight, all the pressure is going to be on that top corner and something might break off. So try to angle your forks. Okay, slowly does it, slowly does it. Now that it's out, it's not too terribly heavy, but it's right near the limit. If I didn't have the weight on the back of the machine, it'd be tipping over right now. So it's over 2,000 pounds anyway, or close to it, I guess. Ah, fuck's sakes. That bolt ripped right out of there. I guess that's a little bit too much stress on that bolt. Yeah, damn it. So what I'm gonna do is swing it around. I'm gonna throw a chain over the, loop it around the transmission, and then tie it back into that chain. Yeah. So if you're gonna put a bolt in that hole when you're lifting it and you got the tranny on it, make sure you got more than 1 inch holding it. You know, need more than 1 inch threads, because if not, it's just gonna rip right out like this one did, because that mount was like putting pressure at an angle, so it pried it out. Fuck. Okay, if I'm careful with it, I can probably let it down without it crushing the front of the machine. So, okay, I just got a little grade 3 bolt holding that chain there. If I didn't have that chain on there to keep it from sliding over, the whole thing would have just fell. I was just holding on by that one little bolt now. Big motor, big motor. Big engine, big engine. Okay. Okay, I got a sling over the end. The PTO will keep it from sliding up. And try this again. Just got to keep the forks up so it doesn't slide off. There we go. There we go. That should do it. Yeah, 3,000 pounds. Got to be 3,000 pounds. Pretty darn close anyway. Probably no chance of steering on the concrete, or try though. It's got it. I'd like it to be a little bit farther over. Just gotta get it swinging, and then when it swings back, the rear tires touch the ground and I can steer. But right now they're just sliding. Okay, get it rocking. Get that engine rocking, and when it swings back, you can steer a little bit. There we go. That works there. I guess setting it on the engine mount is best. Engine mount and transmission. I'll just block it on the engine mount.